Let's talk about another thing that's dear to my heart. You are chapter president of PMI Chapter Austria.
I'm sitting on the shoulders of giants, and one of them.
Sure.
No, seriously. So for all the listeners here and viewers, I'm the 5th president of the Austria chapter. Next to Mrs. The first
idiot.
No, come on.
No.
You made it happen. You started the whole thing, and I couldn't call myself chapter president, couldn't have the volunteer career I've had over the last years in the chapter if you wouldn't have started that one. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for saying that as well. I'm also going to say one thing. I think volunteer work is based on giving and humility. I think it's important. And I don't think any of the volunteers really expect, I think you get plenty in return.
Yeah.
Connections, friendships, also business opportunities without violating any codes of conduct, just because people know you.
Yeah.
It opens doors.
Absolutely.
I'm going to tell you something that's funny. When I originally started researching PMI, I was looking for somebody of your stature and of your background to start it.
Okay.
But
you did it.
This is the funny thing about this. Back then in the late 90s, I couldn't find anybody.
Okay.
They all said, "Are you kidding? That's way too much work." And I'm going to say this about PMI, and I'll never forget them. I went through all the chartering process, and I was constantly looking for the senior. I was in contact with IBM, where I was talking to different people. I was talking to senior project managers at PMP from Baxter, really great guys.
Yeah.
And I was trying to get them all. There was some people I was talking to from CSC as well, and they all said, "No, I can't do that." And when PMI reached out to me and said, "Mark, listen, what's going on with your chartering process?" I go, "Listen, we've done all the paperwork. We have a concept. We have a business model. We have everything." We'd even talked to Professor Garais at the time to see if we could cooperate and stuff. We had a very interesting conversation with him. And then PMI says, "So what's the problem?" I said, "We don't have a chapter president." And they said, "Well, yeah, you do." And I go, "Who's that?" And I go, "You. Just do it." That's one of my fall in love moments with PMI back in the day when I felt very much like a project management imposter. I had a lot of autodidactic experience. I'd worked in a mega million euro project, but I didn't have seniority back then. I was basically a project office manager. And the very fact that PMI gave me the opportunity and trusted me to take over that role honored me. And I must say, we did. I think the very fact that we were junior made us overcompensate as far as what we did locally. And I'm very, very thrilled that the chapter still exists and it's in such good hands with somebody as much experience as you. And I wish you a lot of luck. Are there any particular? So let me ask you before we get to your what you have on the program. For those of you out there who are asking yourself questions, should I become a PMI chapter member? Should I volunteer for a chapter? What would be your argument for people who are considering it? Why should one be interested in the PMI chapter? Why does one want to become a PMI chapter president?
First of all, why would you want to become involved with the chapter itself? This is your opportunity to network, to influence, to participate in the project management community in Austria with like-minded people. And that already gives you a lot. We have Stammtisch or PM circles, as we call them. We're just switching the name away from Stammtisch. We have the events where you meet interesting people, where we have speakers presenting interesting topics, and we can talk about some of the upcoming speakers maybe later today. We give you the opportunity to participate in things like writing book like PM book, as one example, to coach young upcoming project managers. There's so much out there. And the number of opportunities that you get there. I mean, we have the luxury problem. There's so much stuff we could do if we would have sufficient people. We have now 35 to 40 people saying that one base. We're onboarding at the moment if you want. So once they're fully onboarded, we will be around 40. But there's a lot of stuff we can do and even more. So as a PMI member, so not chapter member, general member, you get access to a ton of PMI literature, the PM book for free, all the other books. A lot of literature, you get access to stuff like PMI Infinity, the ChatGPT based chat LLM fed with all the IP of PMI, access to courses, webinars on AI and project, whatever. A lot of things for the value of that one. In addition to that one, there's a chapter membership. So the local one, in this case, Austria. And by the way, we have around 300 chapters worldwide. Austria now is one of them. And again, as a member of the chapter, you can participate in all the events we're doing, which is fine. And then if you still don't have enough, you can become volunteer and you organize these things. You can get deeper into as well PMI intern conferences. You probably remember these exchanges, part of writing teams, coaching. You organize events, and then if you still don't have enough, you can become a board member, and that is then you lead a team. And if that is then not enough, then presidency is probably for you.